joined now by former Commissioner of Police, Lawrence Alobi. He was CP right here in the FCT. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight. I'm sure you listened to that report and you've made sense of some of the issues that were raised there. But let me begin by asking you exactly what were the security agencies meant, what role were they meant to play at the elections, in terms of manning and all of that, the mass deployment of equipment and what have you? Did it live up to expectation in your estimation?
Yeah, thank you for having me. But let me correct you. I'm not former. I'm a retired commissioner of police. Right. Once you're commissioner of police, you are commissioner of police until death.
Thank you very much for making that connection.
Your question, you ask if the policemen did what they ought to do. I think they did what they ought to do, to a large extent, because for what I saw, the last I saw, for me, no sentiment, no emotions. It's my constituency, but I also had to tell them what they ought to do to guide them. You see, one attribute of a police officer is courage. You have to be courageous and assert yourself when doing your duty. Again, the Electoral Act 2022 as amended, Section 57 and 58, make the police to be impotent at a polling station. 57 says the polling officer can order the arrest of anybody who impersonates as a voter. Section 58 says the polling officer, the returning officer, can ask the police to remove anybody any disorderly behavior, any person who behaves disorderly in a polling station. That one, 58, not even say arrest, say remove. So these are the power. These are some of this provision of the Electoral Act 2022. It makes the police to be a bit impotent, because it says the act is the electoral officer who will ask the police to arrest, as provided under Section 57, 1 and 2. The 58 also says that it's the same electoral officer who will ask the police to remove anybody who acts disorderly behavior in the police station.
So on their own, they can't remove you.
That's
what 57 says.
Sorry?
I said on their own, they can't remove someone.
That's what the law says.
Who is in breach.
It's a breach. So the police are made to be impotent. Like I saw the question they asked in the CP of Kano State about a minor who was saying to be voting. It's not his duty. It's the duty of the landing officer to say, arrest him, like I provided under the law. So people sometimes blame the police because of ignorance. The law is there. The police is meant to enforce the law. The difference between electoral offense and criminal offense. Criminal offense, for instance, if a police officer sees you with a rifle in a polling booth, he has a power to arrest you. That's going armed in a public place. Or see you stabbing somebody with a dagger or a knife, he has power to arrest. That's criminal offense. It's probably like under the penal code and criminal code. But the act, the Electoral Act 2022 as amended has limited the powers of the police. They are there just to be seen and not to be heard, like a statute, which makes the police to be impotent.
Is it not in order to check the likely excesses of the police, considering the kind of relationship that the police and civilians have had over the years?
No, but that is the consequence of that provision of the law. So the people now blame the police. They saw somebody like that man in Kanu, that they saw a minor voting, the police don't do anything. Or somebody said the act says it's only the electoral officer who will ask the police to arrest anybody come to impersonate as a voter, or anybody who behaves disorderly in a polling station.
It looks more like a loophole deliberately left there, because I'm looking at it now, and Commissioner Alobi, you're very correct.
Yeah.
And one wonders, a busy polling officer.
Exactly.
At what point would you be able to say, come and help make arrest
and leave what is doing
and leave what you're doing? So in this case now, for electoral offences and for those that were captured on camera, fomenting trouble and just causing some kind of disruption, can the police also make arrests on account of some other laws, like maybe public disturbances?
No, like they said, Section 58 says disorderly behavior with public disturbance.
Yes.
Yes. And only the electoral officer can order the police to remove the person, not even to arrest. The fact is to remove You remove him away, don't arrest him. You remove him and leave him to go, not even to arrest him and prosecute him. Arrest and prosecute him. So the law, there's a lacuna there. And that's not the police not to be blamed.
So what would you like to see in that situation? And is it also a setback that police officers are actually not allowed to carry arms?
No, to carry up arms. You see, the Nigerian society, Nigerian citizens, they don't want to see that the police are there to intimidate with armed. People are scared to come to a vote. That maybe get them scared, and they will not. The way they are scared, they'll be disenfranchised. They will not come free and be free to come and vote. You know, they want to think that maybe then makes as if the electors are being intimidated to be free to come and free. It's something that you want to express your freedom to vote whomsoever you like.
Commissioner Alobi, I think if you go down the section, the same section 51(4), I think it finally made us understand that same remove also meant arrest, because specifically 4 says a person arrested.
Yes.
So now they come back to 4 to use the word arrest. A person arrested under this section shall be deemed to be a person taken into custody by a police officer. So remove, take away, arrest. Finally,
after the election official has asked the police to intervene.
Yes, because he just said that, the section said remove. And I'm saying when you get to 4, 4 is not, they uses the word arrest.
Okay, but then the act says it's the electoral officer who will ask the police to arrest. So see, the police is kind of made to be impotent. His powers are weakened. So, like again, what I said, that what I want to advise my colleagues is that they're coming to 11 March is that access control is on layers. Access control not just there at the police station. We have what you call outer, inner. The outer, the periphery. The military can be there with arms. The next outer, which is the next level, the police can be there with arms. The next outer is the police can be there with arms. Then the inner, the police can be there without arms. With that, at the various level, if who knows come, if they beat the first level, second level, third level, they can't beat the 4th level. So these are the access control effectiveness. But when they just leave a policeman or 2 person at the police station, no effective access control, it becomes vulnerable.
Yeah, but does the police have the capacity to be able to man at such,
of course, all is all based on planning.
That's about 3 layers that you just mentioned.
It's not only the police that policing election security.
Right.
The police also collaboration from other security agencies. The police is the lead agency. And one lacuna to that I've also seen again in this country is that there is no national strategy for policing and law enforcement in this country. And that is a very big lacuna. There should be a national strategy on policing and law enforcement that will be able to guide the police, guide everything, all phases, all that is the law enforcement and architecture of policing and law enforcement. They should have what should do what and at what point. That will guide everybody. But now it's all commerce affair.
So all of this is not included in the training that you provide for the policemen before they.
The training actually being carried out. They actually carried out the election security management training, which I took part myself. Sometimes ago last week here, and sometimes in Nugu and other places. But then this training is not being cascaded down to the grassroots. That's what I believe. You see, when I was CP Fed Ops, I introduced lecture and parade in 4 quarters, and my IG supported me then. And this training builds capacity. Right. Training builds capacity. Training gives them the courage, the self-confidence in you. So the police should emphasize training. But again, police are handicapped in terms of poor funding. Training is capital intensive. The capital intensive, so the government has a role to play. And again, I want to add that election security, like democracy, it is participatory. The law, so the 24E of the Constitution says that it's constitutional duty of every Nigerian citizen to assist security maintain law and order. Well, so the citizens also have a duty to make sure that election security is.
I'm afraid we have to go. Thank you for your time as always.
Thank you very much.